All right, traders, happy Sunday. It's time for another review and rev up. Here we go. Let's get right into it. All right, let's look at the daily chart. But remember, the way that we want to look at the daily chart is we want to put this in context with the NQ, right? Because of the divergence. So Friday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. All right, so if we bring it back over here, here's where the divergence was. We were outside of the removal box, right? We had already started to remove the exhaustion bar in the ES, right? So here's Friday, and then we'll get into Monday here in a second. But if you look at the NQ, if we just kind of slide this out so you can see it, the NQ has not removed the exhaustion or the plausible exhaustion bar yet. So as we come in, we're waffling, right? We're going, okay, if it does this, it's going to do this. If it does this, it could do this. There's different scenarios that we have to come up with. All right, now that we've got the scenarios out, we know how it plays out. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. Before we go to the 4-hour chart, let's take a look at where we are in the KISS on the daily chart. Okay, we are big time position 1, not just on the ES, but on the NQ as well. All right, so now what we can do is let's go to the 4-hour chart. Where were we? We were right back here. Okay, so still position 1. You've got the 200 simple way down here. Let me take that back. It touches the 200 simple on the 4-hour chart, gives us the draw on liquidity, and then is primed for the pickings. Okay, so now as we came into the week, I had the 5980 call. 5980 call. All right, so now let's kind of fast forward this, or let's play this out, and let's see how this worked on the 4-hour chart. This is kind of the chart we were trading on. Remember, we're watching this high to high. We're watching this box. The last thing I want to point out is this right here there was a grab on this liquidity, and then they decided to figure out which way they're going to go with it. All right, so let's move this to the side just a little bit. All right, so here's Mondays, and then we had the Gappertino, fill of the gap. Okay, and then we had a push into, remember Friday's narrative. We came right into this order block at all-time highs on the 4-hour chart. So the first thing they did is they rejected it, right? Let's just move it over. All right, so here's the price action for the 26th of November. Okay, rejection. Now, here's where it has to make a decision. We pull back to the 20 simple, and then what does it do? Okay, well, so it's either going to continue to come down into this gap and break through the bottom of this gap that we have pictured here, or we're going to push right through it. Now, as all of this was happening, as we get into it, before this big bar here, Bitcoin decided to break the high-to-high trend line and then fade back into it. So now, Bitcoin over the weekend is what we're kind of watching. I was debating on whether we should go long right here. I chose not to. There's some meme coins that are doing better than Bitcoin right now, and then also Ethereum is on a pump in direct opposite polarity to the slide back in the Bitcoin here. But we were watching this to determine what they were going to do Friday. Look what they did. On the ES, they bought it, right? Okay, now, but as I said, we have to watch the NQ as well, right? Here's why. There is a much steeper high-to-high trend line. It has barely broken the skin of this 20981 spot 50. Okay, we closed at 20993 spot 50. Pivotal. Let's let this transition into what are we going to talk about for next week. Okay, so now, starting on the NQ, even though I only trade the ES, I have to be watching the NQ. I have to be watching the NQ, right? So the way that this is going to work is this is the determining factor, because this bar is going to open, right? This next bar is going to open right here. Either we come down to this tail, or we go right up into this level here. All right, there's really no more room for it to wiggle. I mean, it can wiggle a little bit more, but not a whole lot more. Okay, that's in the NQ. What will that do for the ES? All right, so now either we're going to pop into new all-time highs and we're going to keep flushing into this 6123, or we're going to come back and we're going to test this 20-period simple moving average, and then the real big move, which would be on the daily chart, as if we move down into this order block down here. That would be a big move down. Now, we're coming into December. December is seasonally very bullish. So as we come in at all-time highs, remember 6051, 6053.25 is the prior all-time high. Okay, we closed at 6051 spot 50. We have a high of 60.60. The odds of this moving up this coming week is pretty high. It's pretty high. All right, let's see if we can find something on the 4-hour chart. All right, again, now, the way that this works is I'm watching this tail, okay, and this tail. Those are our levels on the downside. On the upside, we're in the blue sky theory. Okay, once we get through this 5-3 spot 25, there's nothing above us. Let me make sure we're seeing it correctly. So we've got the 3 lines drawn. Now here's the deal. We could hit these lines tomorrow. 50 points, no problem. 70 points to the 61.23s, no problem. We're really starting to increase. Not that the ATR is increasing, but it hasn't decreased. So that's what we're watching. Now, it's going to really start to depend on, did they get the draw on liquidity that they needed below the 132s or not? That's the question that we're watching. The 8 has gone down below the 20, so we're in the chop zone, if we will, right? So what we need to do is we need to wait. Hopefully this week, the price turns back up for the bulls, hopefully for the bulls. And I'm bullish on NVIDIA. I'm bullish on the market. I'm bullish on everything, right? Hopefully, what happens is the 8 turns back above the 20 and we start to push back up. All right, that's going to do it for me. It's been a great video. Hope everybody likes what we're pumping out here. Smash that like button. Share this with your friends. Put this on your Twitter, whatever you have to do. Share it on Instagram. Put it on Facebook. Tell everyone that we are alive and kicking. One thing that you can do to see if what I talk about comes to fruition, go back and watch the last 5 of these videos. You can watch them on 2 times speed if you need to. Okay. My point of what I'm making of this is watch how we don't waver in what we look at every week. And notice everything that we talk about kind of comes to fruition, whether it's on the upside, whether it's on the downside, whether we go up, whether we go down, whether we test, all these different things, right? A perfect example. Go back and look at what was going on when we were talking about 57.24. So this was what, a month ago, month and a half ago? Go back and look at the Sunday night review and Rev-Up. You're going to go, oh my God, these guys nailed it. These guys freaking nailed it. We nailed it here. We nailed it here. We nailed it here. It's all laid out in these Sunday night videos. These Sunday night videos are so important. There's a reason that we make them, not just for your enjoyment, okay? But to get prepped for the week, we have to know what happened last week and what could happen this week. If we have no plan to trade, okay, you're going to get crushed. Now remember, as a trader, we reserve the right to waffle. So what I mean by it, even if I thought we were going to 6123, 100% of my soul, I would still tell you, okay, here's plan A, 6123, but plan B would be, and I'm just making this up, 5892. We can't just say it's going to this level. Look, I know, but we also have to plan for what happens if it doesn't. Now, this brings up a good point. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. My calls that I bought down here, this is the last thing that we'll get out of here. This long triggered, and I got to close it overnight right here at the exact high. I had the 59.80 December 6th call. I purchased it for $27.75. I got to sell it for $83.25 right here. It was a thing of beauty. It's all calculated out. The way that we found that target was it was a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio from this box right here. This box represents this exhaustion bar that was proven exhausted. Oh, it worked so perfectly. It worked so perfectly. Everything was perfect, primed, right? And here's where that trade started from, just so everyone understands where we were trading from over the last 2 weeks. When we have this situation, this is a thing of beauty. It gave you a chance to get in again here. You can see the accumulation. Oh, well, why didn't they, we got a draw on liquidity. We have a sweep of this level here. They hold this level, okay, which is a breaker block or a mitigation block, however, here. This level here, okay? The November 6th bar, we're watching, that was the over-under. They held it. They grabbed liquidity below it. And then they were able to take it higher after we get this sweep of liquidity here on the 4-hour 200 simple moving average, moving in an increasing rate. All right, folks, you know what we're looking for next week. You know what we looked at last week. It's been a doozy. It's been really, really fun. It's a good night. I hope your football teams on the pitch and on the field won. My Packers beat the Dolphins on Thursday evening. It was a thing of beauty. I'm going to enjoy it because this next Thursday we are playing the Lions, and it will not be fun. They've already beat us once this year. We'll go ahead and see everyone tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. live on YouTube. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn the notification bells to on. Make sure you share this with your friends. There is someone on the internet that does actually understand price action, and that person is me. I'll see everybody later. Thanks.